All right. There he is.
What's up, Big O?
Good, man.
Listen, I don't blame Cristobal for saying both quarterbacks this week. I think he knows which one he's going with. He's just not telling FSU. You got to do everything on this rivalry weeks, man. I don't know if that's saying much because there's not much at that QB position either. But
That's not FSU's like, bro. Start whoever the hell you want, bro.
Yeah, it's FSU's offense you got to stop. It's not their defense you're really worried about. It's their offense you got to stop.
Is Tim Kelly coming back? I'm sorry, is Steve Walsh coming back? What do you guys got over there?
No. Sure, you'll take Ja'Cory Harris right now if you could.
Oh God, yeah, the loaf of bread's downfield. Yes. Oh Jesus Christ! It's just Mario. Just wow.
I agree with I
wanted him badly here.
Yeah.
And that puts me in guilty as the Miami guy that wants the Miami guy. You know what I mean? And,
no, for sure. I'm on the same boat.
And I knew he was what's it called? Conservative. That's one thing I saw at Oregon that I did not like. And I even said it when they hired him. I said, what happened to him the last year can't happen here because he got beat by Utah twice.
Yeah.
That's like getting beat by whoever, FSU, Clemson.
No, Utah was good. They won Pac-12 titles.
But my point is, if you're Miami, you can't be getting beat by Utah twice. They're expecting you to beat the Utahs, which is Florida State and Clemson and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
To start winning those kind of games. And you were already established at Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good look for you. You know what I mean? I know Utah's good, but
yeah, well, Oregon was kind of already established for him in the way that Miami was a little bit established for him. Justin Herbert was already there when he took over from Willie Taggart. Right. And then when you look at Miami here, there was Tyler Van Dyke, and he had a really great second season. And just, I don't know, the kid's been hurt. I don't really know what's going on there. I haven't watched enough football to really see how he's played and performed. But yeah, Mario has always been a conservative coach. He's an O-line coach. He's don't turn the ball over and let's rely on our defense, low score, things like that. If you have a high-powered offense, Mario's probably not – he's not playing that high-powered offense. He's not trying to run up the score. He's trying to make sure to limit mistakes and things like that. So he's going to always be who he is, I think. And I think just him saying both quarterbacks this week or, like you said, sneaking one in or something like that, another game. I think Van Dyke has probably shown he's the number one quarterback on that team, and they have to kind of roll with him, and it's been a struggle.
All right, let's get to some Dolphins talk. Waddle has had the worst luck this year. Poor guy's been dealing with all kinds of injuries. But I will say this about the kid, and he's proven it since he came out of college that he had that ankle surgery and everything. He's a tough son of a bitch. He fights through every banged up bruise that he has and injury and all that. With the bye week, I still expect him to play, the following week, no matter what. So what are you hearing from Waddle? Because I really feel bad for the kid because he's had a really rough go this year.
Yeah, I do too, man. Jaylen Waddle's probably one of my favorite kids in the locker room. One of my favorite players in the NFL. I love what he's about. You saw when he was in college, he had an ankle injury, came back and played in the title game for him, and he was a shell of himself. But him just suiting up to play told you everything you needed to know about that kid, right? Yep. Mike McDaniel said today that Waddle was very adamant about going back in the game, told him he wanted the ball. That's why they called that end-around play for him when he got back in. And then when you go back and look at the Chiefs game, obviously Waddle going down on the first drive killed everything for them, momentum-wise. That first Mostert play was shut down. Waddle had to come out the game. Then it kind of unraveled a little bit because you were trying to go with your opening game script, and your second-best player on offense is not there. Right. So, the Dolphins have to make their adjustments. Mike has to make his adjustments as well. When teams stop the run, you got to go past heavy. Mike has really gotten into the philosophy, like he said earlier this year, and you and I talked about. They want to run more. They want to establish a run more so they can pass more. And it's hard to do that when you can't get the run off. But Tua is also, you don't mind if he throws 35 to 40 passes a game. Ideally, you don't want it. But if the run game's not there, you got to go to Tua throwing it early and see what you got there. So it was just kind of a poor opening adjustment. Mike probably needed to force it a little bit. And, they were down 21-0 at the halftime.
has Mike not done a good job of figuring out a way to use Claypool? Because one of the things I talked about in the pregame was to use Cedric Wilson or Claypool against McDuffie
Yeah.
because he's 5'10", and
Mhm.
they ended up using Cedric in the touchdown. But Claypool's been, and I have a hard time believing that you can't teach him a fade pattern or two or something, a simple route or two in a play that you can have a package or two for him. You
Yeah.
don't have to give him the whole damn playbook, but give him a couple plays to get that big body in there, man. And he's had one reception so far. Um, is it on Claypool or what is it?
No, well, I think you might be. We've spoken about Claypool a lot since he's got here, you and I, and more than we needed to, more than we should, I think, because I don't
Yeah,
think he's not coming here to make an impact like that. Where you're looking for him a little bit more. They got the kid because he was a low buy, high, low cost, high reward, maybe kind of thing, right? But you're not. He's not in here to be a game changer. He's not in here to go and kind of do anything a little bit more extra than what you're kind of hoping
he's a
for or getting for him.
he's a
He's a big body. Yeah, he's a big body. He has a nice skill set, but he's also flamed out in his past two spots. This is a different opportunity for him. We've seen how much Tua and Tyreek have learned, gotten, and improved after learning this offense for 2 seasons already. This kid is barely here for a month already. So the plays that you see him have right now, that's what he's learned. That's what he's been, that's what they whipped up for him. It's not a fade route. He's happened to be in the middle of the field. He's blocking for people, making good blocks. Had one catch, yes, but he's not an every snap player for you right now. So he's not a factor. I think the Dolphins have a lot more other issues or other things I have to worry about than trying to get Chase Claypool into the mix because they already have their star receivers. It's getting guys healthy and having everybody across the board healthy as well too.
Yeah, no, it's I just kind of find it weird that you can't find some kind of spot for him. Did you rewatch the film and watch Eichenberg?
I didn't watch the film all the way. I saw some highlights, but Eichenberg looked good. Obviously, that's what you wanted to see from a player who has gotten some reps already, right? This is what happens when you start him during those cupcake games and he's playing at center, and now he doesn't have to hike the ball. He can just worry about being a guard, which is great too. Look, the Dolphins have done a really good job developing this O line right now. It doesn't feel like you just have three guys where it felt like that in the past, right? Or maybe even just two. For me, it was just Armstead and Hunt on the O line, and then you kind of worried about Connor, or you're hoping for somebody else. Austin Jackson has come about. Isaiah Wynn was a great revelation for you before you got hurt. You have depth at guard with Eichenberg, Cotton. Rob Jones is going to come back from his knee injury later on this season. The depth that you have there, you actually have some players there. You actually have a scheme that kind of works. For them to kind of be successful too. So it's a new day for the O-line for sure, Big O. It's these guys are in better shape than they were. And you're happy to see that Armstead came out of the game clean. They have a bye week, and then they have a stretch for the rest of the season, man.
I was telling Cam that Armstead's deal this year, strangely, he's not getting injured. He's got bad luck that people are injuring him. Actually, seriously, like we're so used to him pulling a hammy, twisting an ankle or
Yeah,
whatever.
he's just getting rolled up on, right?
Yeah, dude. Like not only has he had bad luck with his body, but this year it's been about shit that he can't even control, man. So
Yeah,
I kind of
definitely.
for him in a sense because think about it. If he doesn't have those two incidents, maybe the guy's played like 8 straight 9 games. You're like, holy shit, this guy's played a lot of games straight this year. But
Yeah.
bad luck has kind of put them in this position
Mhm.
overall. When you look at the Connor Williams thing, I thought he played a really good game.
Yeah.
The one snap, I got to tell you something, dude. I don't blame it at all on Connor. You know why? I've seen Tua handle the ones on the floor and the ones over his head, and he catches them all and he completes the pass after. And so I got to blame Tua for that one. Kid, you got to be ready, bro. All of them are not going to be right at your center. If there's one a little off to the right, well, catch it, dude. You gotta be alert. You gotta be awake, and you gotta catch that ball. To me, I actually blame Tua more for that one than anything else. Connor had some awesome blocks in that game, dude.
Yeah, if you rewatch that game and rewatch, the kind of highlights of Tua's big throws in that game, that snap at the end of the game was probably Tua's only mistake, right? And it just cost them. From kind of the clip that Omar posted, the overhead clip, it looked like they were lined up on the same hash mark, right? But it just kind of felt like Tua was maybe like a little bit, off to the left, a little bit, not to the right. Tua was also looking at his right, so he was trying to set something up. And then the snap came, right before he could see it. He saw it passing him, but he didn't see it in front of him. And like you said, yeah, it was just, they were just 1 second off. They were just 1 second off.
You're the quarterback. You're the one calling it. So he's snapping on your call. So you need to be ready.
The Dolphins were also doing kind of silent count things. There was the right guard. The right guard was signaling to the center to snap. So all of that got sped up by like 1-2 seconds maybe. And then there was a motion on the right side where Waddle came inside, and Waddle went up the seam. He was wide open for a touchdown. They would have tied the game. Yeah. If they got the snap off, Tua saw the field wide open. He's throwing the Waddle. They throwing into Waddle, and they're tying the game. And I think it's kind of a situation where you get a pick, but you don't catch the ball, and you're already scoring the touchdown, but you don't have the ball. It felt a little bit like that. It was just 1 second too early. The snap was for Tua. They would have scored. And who knows if they would have went for 2 or not? That's a conversation for another day because, it wouldn't have happened. Who knows? But, the Dolphins are, for all the things that we have said negatively about them, about not winning big games, this and that, they're true. Yeah, they do need to perform better against better teams. But, I mean, when you look at it, Big O, they're in great spot right now. You're not worried about your quarterback. You're not worried about your defense. You're not worried about your star players being injured. You got multiple people coming back for the second half of the year. I'd rather have Tehran, Armstead, and A-Chain for November, December, January, February than I'd rather have them September, October. You're first in the division. The Bills lost again when you took a loss. You still have the lead in the division. You're a division leader. You're 6-3 right now. I don't remember the last time the Dolphins led a division, to be honest with you. So you're 6-3 going into a bye week. You're going to get bodies back. You know how you have to perform against better teams, and all that traveling crap, traveling crap is over too. Your defense came around. Your defense is completely turned around, right? So you're going to get better that way, and then the traveling is done. The traveling's done. You're not going to LA no more. There's no Germany trip, anything like that. If come playoff time, the furthest west you're probably going to go is Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
Vegas is coming here. You're going up to Washington. That's a tough game, and then when you play Baltimore in the season finale, that's a playoff game. That's not a season finale. That's a playoff game. That's seeding implications right there. You're hoping that they win enough games so it doesn't come to a point where, maybe you're kind of playing into the playoffs, stuff like that. But the Baltimore game, that's an elimination game, or that's a game, pretty much that you're setting yourself up for to see if you're going to have a higher seed than Baltimore and if you're not going to have a higher seed than them. And who knows where the Bills and the Bengals end up too.
I don't worry about Baltimore anymore. Since you have a real quarterback now, you can beat Baltimore.
It's a different season, man.
Baltimore used to be able to punch Miami in the mouth. Now they don't. Now the last 2 years they haven't been able to do that anymore. And that's look, dude. I don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. This is a regular season offense that's really difficult to prepare for.
Yeah,
and it shut down every time in the playoffs because it's one dimensional because it runs. And the guy that plays the quarterback position cannot sit back there permanently and beat you with his arm.
No, you got to watch Lamar more, man. He's definitely changed.
Regular season, dude, I watch it all the time. It's medial pass.
Lamar is probably the best he's been, man. He's throwing a lot better than that. That stereotype is overkilled.
The passes aren't that difficult that he's throwing. He's actually designing it perfect for him. It's not really that difficult, bro. He's not throwing the kind of shit that Tua throws in multiple windows and traffic.
That's accurate.
I know. I watch it. I know exactly.
That's accurate, but I don't think he's far off. He's improved as a passer the last couple of years.
Yeah, you're falling for the regular season stuff once again. When we get to the playoffs, he will pissing his pants like he always does. He has to face a real quarterback on the other side.
Let's see.
Whatever it is. But my bottom line is I'm not really worried that much about Baltimore or Dallas. Believe it or not, as much as a disaster as Buffalo is, that's the one I worry about because they seem to get up for Miami.
Yeah, they always get up for Miami.
And I don't think they're that good, actually. I really don't think they're that good, but somehow, and they prove it every week that they're not that good, but it's like, brother, when they face Miami, and that's a monster, that's a psychological monster that Miami has to overcome. They're 2-12 under McDermott. Yeah. You got to change that shit, bro.
Yeah, that's the last game of the season. That's everything that you need right there. Motivation that we're talking about here. That's the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks are elimination games for Dolphins. Essentially, if they go into it with that mindset, they'll be good. Buffalo, when you play them, it's got to be a defense game. Defense has to show up, and Tua has to show up as well too. Tua really cooked as well in the Chiefs game. They were kind of just off sync that whole first half, but they ran out of time against the Chiefs pretty much, and they shouldn't have been as behind in the 8 ball as they were. The play to Tyreek is kind of unique to me because typically Tua's
should have caught it.
Yeah, and then typically Tua, when he sees defenders coming towards a player and he has to throw, he usually throws it in the dirt, kills the play so that the players don't get lit up, things like that. And it was just like Tyreek is probably the only player you don't want to do that to because no matter when he gets the ball, you want him to see what he can do with it. And it was just a complete ultimate fail.
The Durham Smythe play.
No, I'm talking about the play before the half. Tyreek fumbled and they returned it.
The fumble.
Yeah,
that's the Durham Smythe play.
What's his Durham Smythe play?
Bro,
who caught it?
Who do you think was in charge of blocking Trent McDuffie?
Oh, yeah.
I'm tired of watching Durham Smythe miss blocks, bro.
Mm-hmm. Well, who's next? You want Julian Hill out there? You want Claypool? That's where Claypool comes in.
Well, dude. Durham Smythe, your one job is to block.
Yeah.
Whenever you
one
catch
block he missed.
Let me explain something about Durham Smythe. Buddy, when you catch a pass, and I'm talking to Durham out there, it's a bonus. Okay? If you don't catch it, we're kind of, we're not really shocked, actually. But if you can't block, then I don't know what you're doing in the NFL. And if you can't block a 5'10 guy, I don't know what you're doing in the NFL. I can't help you. So I blame Tyreek for the fumble.
Yeah.
And it was the best play call by McDaniel, and it wasn't a great decision by Tua in the end. I get all of that. But Durham Smythe was a disaster on that play. That was a guy who was half your size, and you couldn't control him and keep him away from Tyreek so you can give Tyreek a little space to do his thing. Durham Smythe, bro. Go watch that play. That's all.
I'll watch that play again, yeah.
That's the Durham Smythe play. But the bomb, he should have caught.
Yeah, that play, he got jammed up at the line. He should have got it. They should have called a hand to the face for him. I mean, Tyreek should be getting hands to the face calls every week because he's shorter than the guys that he's going up against.
Yeah.
But that was just that it kept him 1 second away from that play. So look, we're talking about a second here, a second there for the Dolphins, and who knows if they could have won. You're really hoping that they take this bye week, they enjoy it, they relax, they do what they got to do, they recover, and when the second half of the season starts, they don't let those little inches come up and bite them in the butt. You're hoping to beat the better teams. You got Vegas coming up here, in the first game coming back here. Can't take them lightly because of everything they have going on right now too. So, it's about the Dolphins to see how far they can go up with this record, how high of a seed they can get, what's the playoff matchup, and who stays healthy. You got to stay healthy for the rest of the year too. You're halfway done, man.
What do you got going on in USA Today so they can check you out, my friends?
Yeah, definitely. It's a football podcast. It's dropping later today. My colleague Tyler Dragon and I, we're going to recap where everything stands in the AFC right now. Look back at how the Eagles are kind of doing really well. Look back at the week that was in the NFL last week. I'll also be at Lionel Messi's friendly with InterMiami on Friday night. They're playing New York City FC to celebrate his award and get one more match in before he goes with Argentina later on this month. So
a quick money grab.
Hey, I don't think NYC bothers it too because that was one of the teams that he went to go visit and played in, so quick money grab, not bad.
It's a friendly. Everybody makes a little extra cash.
Yeah, Apple TV, you can watch it on TV too,
Yeah, Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's a smart money grab on their part because a lot of people don't get to see Messi. Most people won't be able to even buy tickets during the regular season. So you get to watch a friendly. You get to
Yeah.
see. I think it's pretty cool. But
Maybe you and I might be spoiled that he's been here since July, but every time you can go watch Lionel Messi play,
yes,
as a soccer fan or anybody, it feels like a once in a lifetime opportunity.
exactly.
When it comes to sporting opportunities, kind of like LeBron playing last night, once in a lifetime for you're going to see him to play again like that. So take advantage, spend your money. It's expensive, but you'll always have that memory.
Great point. Great point. All right, my brother. Appreciate you as always. We'll catch up later on in the week on Friday, my friend. Thank
Will
you.
do. Talk to you, Big O.
You got it. Folks, you don't need to be a professional athlete to go where the pros go. That's right. The doctors at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care can see you now. Use that QR code. That's right there. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to request an appointment to get yourself back in the game. If you have an injury that's keeping you from doing what you love, take charge of your health and get back into the game with the help of the all-pro staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care.